carry water, chopping wood, grow a garden, canning goods, in a cabin in the woods. We're just a bit misunderstood. Appalachian Renaissance. Stamp your feet and do the dance. Plant a seed and take a chance on this Appalachian Renaissance.
Deep in the heart of north central West Virginia sits a family farm where the story of food comes to life. And nearby in the town of Elkins, it's Market, with an eclectic collection of real food shoppers sharing their tales, recipes, and music. Hi, I'm your host, Hillbilly Graham, and this is Charm Life.
Making art or making hay, Appalachian Renaissance. Stamp your feet and do the dance.
Welcome to the penultimate episode of Charm Life's inaugural season. Today, we'll hear from Augusta Heritage Director Seth Young about the organization's renaissance occurring in downtown Elkins. Longtime Augusta vocal instructor Ginny Hawker shares a delicacy, and Jesse Milnes is our musical guest. From Below the Counter returns, we meet a mummer, and Mrs. Graham reads Wendell Berry. All that and ever more, right here on your source for grass-fed community radio, Charm Life.
It takes more than wit and skill to make a home up in these hills. Not just survive and pay them bills, but to thrive and get your fill. Appalachian Renaissance. Stamp your feet and do the dance. Plant a seed and take a chance on this Appalachian Renaissance.
It may seem odd to include an organization dedicated to preserving traditional music and folkways in a show touting Appalachian Renaissance, but Augusta Heritage Executive Director Seth Young helps explain.
The organization called the Randolph County Creative Council was founded in 1973 by folks that recognized that without a framework or structure to pass traditional knowledge on from one generation to the next, that that knowledge could be lost to time. It's recognizing that culture and art and creative placemaking are at the center of rural America's downtown revitalizations. And also in our part of it is also in a physical revitalization of a once vacant building into a downtown hub of cultural and artistic expression.
Now, this Wilt building that you're speaking of is across the street from the rail yard, so literally a key spot in the downtown history of Elkins.
Oh, yeah. It was once the Opera House here, erected in 1898. Then its namesake comes from the John D. Wilt Clothing Company in the 30s and 40s. The old retail space in the downstairs will become a dance hall, a place for cultural symposiums and cultural sessions. There'll be a cafe and a community hub attached to it. We'll have classrooms on the second floor, and in the top two floors we have 10 units that are reserved for AmeriCorps or other emergent community members that sign a pledge to have a forward-facing project every year as a part of their lease, and 2 units for touring artists that we want to bring in to enliven our community.
Seth, in the last 3 minutes you used the word community 4 times, and I don't think it's by accident. I think it's at the heart of what Augusta's all about. You mentioned 1973. One of our Charm Farm shoppers is Margot Blevin, and was she part of that 73 gang?
In 81, Augusta transferred to Davis and Elkins College. That's when Margot was brought on as the executive director, and that's when the programming really took off. And whenever you hear these weeks, Blues Week, Bluegrass Week, Cajun Week, that's when that style of programming was implemented. So Margot had a lot of vision and was very forward-thinking in the structure that we still have to this day. It remained at Davis and Elkins College until 2022, when we were working with senior college administration to reformat it to allow for growth. And the conclusion that we came to was, for the first time in organizational history, a standalone nonprofit corporation. And that's what Augusta is today.
What does Augusta mean to the town of Elkins?
Well, I think it's at the center of the identity of Elkins and has been for a long time. Here, we have to make our own in order to have it. And so I think that mentality, coupled along with Augusta's programming, makes for a very natural fit and powerful cultural identity in this town.
I'm speaking with Augusta Heritage Center Director Seth Young and asked about the importance of children in preserving Appalachian traditions.
Children are at the forefront of passing it on. Whenever we sit down to design any program, one of the first questions that we ask is, how do we get children involved? How do we get teens involved, young adults involved? And then what ends up happening is you have a complete intergenerational learning experience, which is so important. Oftentimes in a classroom, you'll see someone that's 80 years old and they're learning next to someone that's 16 years old. And there's all sorts of layers of mentorism there. And there's also belonging and instilling of purpose and a forming of relationships, which are key pillars to happiness. So important today because youth through social media are often deceived into believing that wealth, power, fame, influence, those are the keys. Now, you can be happy and have those things, but if you have those things without a sense of purpose, relationships forming around a community, a sense of belonging, you're going to have a very hollow life experience. So my joy comes in seeing how Augusta programming transforms the individual, not just the concept that they're learning, but that complete personal transformation that happens.
Expounding on this idea of community, Seth, you were recently married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you and your wife, Jocelyn, had a community wedding open to members of the public,
Sure.
Catered by the Charm Farm. Tell me just a little bit about that.
Well, we knew we wanted to involve locally all of our friends, and we wanted to support community members that were offering all these services, who also wants to share in this celebration. Where we landed was Charm Farm, catering the meals. That was the spirit that we wanted to bring everybody in and celebrate. We have these two worlds. Jocelyn has folks in San Francisco, New York, Dubai, all over the world. I'm multi-generational from Elkins, West Virginia, and there are plenty of myths to dispel. So we wanted to welcome everybody into our community, and since then, a lot of people have been contacting me about looking to buy a house around here.
Okay. What was on the menu?
We did 3 stations with Charm Farm. There was a brisket slider station, a pasta station, and a taco bar. And all of the meats and seasonal vegetables, as many as we could, were produced by the Charm Farm to showcase what we're eating here locally.
Next, esteemed Augusta vocalist Ginny Hawker shares a recipe that was not served at the Young wedding.
It's called a top hat, and you put the bologna in the frying pan, and as it curls up, you fill it with instant mashed potatoes and cover it with Velveeta cheese. That's southern trash eating, you know. Not good for you, but...
Now, what would happen if we took a Charm Farm potato and mashed it, and then a slice of the Wisconsin cheese and put on it?
Oh, just kill me. I don't know. That would taste good.
Now, that's a top hat worthy of the name.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. I should try that. Real potatoes, real cheese. You wash it down with a Pepsi that has peanuts in the bottom, and try not to choke on the peanuts.
Peanuts in the bottom of a Pepsi. What's that all about?
I don't know. It's just something kids do in the South. Growing up, I did.
I thought we were in the South here in West Virginia.
No.
You know what might taste good on one of those top hats? Some hot sauce. Let's grab our Chief Fermentation Officer, Matt.
Matt, what in the world are you doing with those cayenne peppers? Be careful.
I am currently prepping the peppers for the hot sauce because they will be fermenting for a week in order to get some flavor in these puppies. In this batch, there's going to be cayenne, serranos, and some bell peppers.
I notice you're doing it without gloves. Are you not worried about rubbing your eyes or...
I'm a seasoned veteran when it comes to cutting peppers. And now that I said that, I'll probably end up touching my eyes. Then my face will be on fire, so...
Well, think of me when that happens,
I
please.
will, of course I will.
Now, I see some other ingredients here besides peppers. What do you have over here?
To add some more flavor, and just because you can never have too much garlic and onions, I have prepped some fresh garlic and some shallots off the farm as well to add to the fermenting. I usually go for flavor over heat. I mean, obviously it's going to have some heat to it, but notice we also have some habaneros that I will not be putting in this hot sauce. Those are just a little bit too hot in my opinion.
So all these ingredients are going into a crock. Are you going to mash it or anything?
No mashing, just going to be adding water and a secret amount of salt.
And then how long will it sit?
They'll ferment for a week. I'm not really very familiar with the Scoville units of these peppers. I just know they're real tasty.
And what do you like to put it on?
Everything. One of the weirdest ones that gets me the most looks is sometimes when I make pasta at home, I'll make just the noodles with some garlic and butter and some fresh Parmesan, and then I'll top it with hot sauce.
Sounds pretty tasty.
It is.
Diablo
Pasta.
You have a lot of fans out there. Who do you consider some of your biggest admirers out there?
Dr. Chua. He's my hot sauce buddy. We exchange hot sauces every year.
And how would you say he ranks as a hot sauce creator?
Well, he likes hotter peppers than I do, so some of his are a little bit too spicy. They always have really good flavor, but I like to not have sweat on my upper lip when I'm eating lunch.
One of Matt's favorite tricks is having me taste a little hot sauce or a little fermented pepper, and he tells me it's not hot, and then, of course, that's the week that the yeah, see, he's snickering already. That's the week that the bread lady's on honeymoon or something, and there's no bread to be found. So, well, thank you, Mr. Haas. I'll let you get back to it. I can't wait to taste some, maybe on some pasta.
There you go.
So far in today's episode, we've heard about Augusta and what it means to our community. There to document and preserve these rich cultural traditions for the past several decades has been multi-instrumentalist and folklorist Jesse Milnes. Thus, his son Jesse grew up in the milieu of Augusta and joins us now on Charm Life.
I'm very pleased to welcome to the Charm Life studio Jesse Milnes. Welcome, Jesse.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Tell us about the song you're going to play for us today.
Okay, I'm going to play you a tune. It's called Green Corn. And it comes from a fiddler from Calhoun County named Harvey Sampson. On the one hand, it sort of fits in with the style of Central West Virginia fiddling, but on the other hand, it's really unlike anything I've ever heard. Green Corn, if you look it up, is a Native American festival celebrated all over the East Coast and into the Midwest in late summer when the corn was ready to be eaten fresh. So it's sort of the first time of the year when you could eat your corn crop.
Real nice.
Thanks.
In episode 2, Birdsong spoke of children being raised by a community, and seeing Jesse now as a young man led me to ask him about growing up in Elkins.
Elkins was a great place to grow up. From the age of 9 or 10 years old, I would ride my bike everywhere in town. Just felt totally free, and obviously it was incredible to be exposed to so much great music at Augusta, because that was where my dad worked growing up.
Who were some of your fiddling influences?
Well, first and foremost would be Melvin Wine and my dad. And I loved Glenn Smith's fiddling, and of course Kenny Baker.
You've appeared along with your wife on Mountain Stage. You've been on the Real Prairie Home Companion, and now this morning you find yourself here in the Charm Life studio. I'm a little concerned about your career arc.
It's going nowhere fast, I'll tell you.
If by nowhere fast, Jesse means he and wife Emily Miller will be carrying on and spreading Appalachian traditions locally, our community is all the richer. In addition to green corn, Jesse gave us the cluck old hen heard during Seth's piece, and appropriately picked out a pack of chicken thighs for his Charm Life remuneration. Next up, Mike and Leah talk about the Taylor farm and fashion. I was curious about the farming history of the immediate area around the market and old high school across the street. Our heirloom beans gifted from Michelle were grown here, so I asked. Do you know much about the Taylor farm up the road here?
The Matheny's have the original farmhouse location. It sits on a nice little rise, and down below, all of South Elkins was mostly cattle and sheep pasture. And the remnants of it, I think, are left to, a couple of the houses and the street names.
Jerry Matheny is a prominent Elkins dentist and well-recognized walker. He lives in the original Taylor farmhouse and happened to pace by the market on his way home from town.
Andrew Taylor. He owned all the property from the high school to the Oddfellows home. It's about 577 acres. He built the house where I live now because the flood, and when the Taggart Valley would flood, it would never get to that point, and he could bring his cattle, and that's why the house was built there.
Are there any structures left from the original farm around?
Well, this the house. Let's see, it was built in 1880.
1880. So the town was founded in 1889. So there had to be a farm or food here first, right?
Yeah. So.
That's something that I noticed whenever I was helping Beverly Elementary get a school garden that's since been paved over. The settlers in the area would always settle in the most fertile location they could find, and then the towns would usually congregate around those early settlements and build out from there. So all the best farm ground in the country, I'd say, was pretty well paved over at this point.
You got to figure those railroad workers in 1889 needed something to eat, you know? There's no Kroger or Walmart to go shopping.
No. They'd eat a lot of meat.
Well, the Taylor farm leads me to my next question. I understand that Leah is a Swiftie.
Oh, stop.
We've got the Taylor farm, and the farmer's wife is a Swiftie. So you see that nice segue?
Oh, yeah. That's also her middle name and Stashi's middle name is Taylor. Yeah.
My whole family's Taylors. I mean, all of, my dad's middle name's Taylor, my granddad's middle name's Taylor, but it all is from that at some point someone was a Taylor.
Okay, now admit it. Would you like an invitation to the wedding?
I don't know. But what will I wear? Gosh.
You mentioned in our first sit-down, Leah, that you spent some time in college studying fashion. If the Charm Farm were to have a line...
Okay, go on. Tell me more.
What would it be like, and who would you have on the runway?
Oh, gosh. Heaven's
I'll get
sakes.
back to you in 3
I'll get back to you
weeks.
with a mood board in a couple weeks. Mike and I's general uniform is we always have white shirts on for some silly reason. And Mike at one point in his life was a jorts kind of guy, which is a stunning look for him.
From below the counter, we'll get some fashion advice for the Swift wedding, some D.C. area teens camping menu leads to gridiron smack talk, and a trick at Cousins Go Festing. If you were invited to Taylor Swift's wedding, what would you wear?
Any dress I have?
A dress? A fancy one?
Sure.
What's your fanciest dress?
It's red and it has all these yellow flowers and stuff on it.
Probably my jean jacket is probably a bit too small for me that has all the Taylor Swift albums on them.
Oh, you had like patches and things?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think I'd probably be going for some sort of Renaissance, Renaissance era tuxedo / sort of modern tuxedo. Yeah, I think that's what I'd be rocking.
You guys are in for a camping trip. Tell me where you're from and what you're doing this weekend.
From DC, and here camping for the Columbus Day weekend at his cabin.
Yeah. We'll be eating a lot of steaks and cooking good food and fishing.
Philly cheesesteaks and what's the ground beef? Burgers probably. And
now, did I hear you say Philly cheesesteaks?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are from Northern Virginia. Doesn't that make you a Commanders fan?
I'm a Bills fan, but I mean, my dad likes Commanders.
Go Niners.
Oh, Niners, Commanders, and Bills. And Eagles, too, so.
My aunt's an Eagles fan. Her son is an Eagles fan. My whole family despises them. It's like a rivalry. It's bad.
What are you guys doing in Elkins this weekend?
We are going to be going to the Forest Festival. We're going to the Forest Festival. We're going to the Forest Festival.
I'd say these Marylanders are going to the Forest Festival. The Mountain State Forest Festival is our town's annual celebration, fading its forest heritage. The Grand Feature Parade attracts performers from all over the country and stages on South Davis Avenue in front of the market. That gave me a chance to talk to one of the musicians, a mummer with the Avalon String Band, and learn about their New Year's Day tradition.
Oh, yeah. We're from Philadelphia, looking at South Philly, Second and Tasker. Really great tradition, all about family and times past, and just real big in the family aspect of it. It's real fun. It's one day a year. People think, but actually we go to January every year just doing jobs and raising money to put on our show.
When you say doing jobs, what goes into the Mummers Parade?
Oh, well, like today we're down here in West Virginia doing this parade to raise money for our budget, for our theme for the year. Like this year coming up, it's going to be a baking theme. So a lot goes into it, like whether it's building props, getting suits made, the sequences, the spackles, everything.
You saying there's mummers in the parade today?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know it. I'm going to have to get down there.
Oh, yes, sir. We have a full suit and everything.
Did you bring cheesesteaks?
We did not bring cheesesteaks.
I have, and you noticed my hat. You have something to say for our listening audience?
Oh, yeah, go Birds.
Augusta, fried bologna sandwiches, green corn, mummers, and hot sauce. That was quite a shopping cart. Let's all take a deep breath now and contemplate the words of one of Farmer Mike's inspirational writers, Wendell Berry, as Mrs. Graham offers a poem.
The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Whether your place is out on the farm, holding a fiddle bow, or fermenting peppers, just find it and soak in its peace and solace. Next time on Charm Life, you won't want to miss the story of snow farming as we close our first season at Whitegrass Cross Country Ski Touring Center. From Hillbilly Graham and the rest of the farm crew, Thanks for listening to your source for grass-fed community radio, Charm Life. Charm Life is a production of Hillbilly Graham Presents, who is solely responsible for its contents. Wishawake performs our theme song, and Harrison Rosenblum is the tech wizard.
Plant a seed and take a chance on this Appalachian Renaissance.
In the days following the Forest Festival parade, Avalon string band member Mike Mislinski invited the Charm crew to their South Philadelphia crib before a December Eagles-Raiders game. Mike and Kira are hard at work on the specialty Mummer's Brat. We'll have a report from the festivities in the Season 2 opener.
Just like that, the Mummers came to South Davis Avenue. They strutted,